People say every humiliation feels slow, but yours didn't. It hit you all at once like a spark flashing against gasoline, then exploding across the entire campus. Students gathered under the festival lights, laughter echoing from every corner. It should have been a normal university evening, but tonight felt different. Tonight you were finally going to confess to Jungkook, the boy you had secretly admired for years. The campus heartthrob, the one everyone wanted, the boy who didn't smile unless there was something in it for him. Rude, rich, unreachable. And you are just you, a quiet girl from a struggling family, invisible to everyone except your books. But Heaven, the most popular girl on campus, had told you earlier, you like him, right? Then go for it, Vine. Who knows, maybe he's nicer than he looks. She said it with a soft smile, a sisterly tone, her hand resting on your shoulder. You believed her. You shouldn't have. Now, your hands were trembling around the mic as the crowd formed a circle. Your heartbeat thundered in your ears. Jungkook stood in the middle of the festival lights, tall, effortlessly handsome, arms crossed, head slightly tilted as if he was being forced to watch something boring. Your voice wavered. Jungkook, I have liked you for a long time. I just wanted to say that you are someone I admire a lot. Would you go out with me? Whispers, phones left in to record. Jungkook stared at you, not blinking nor smiling, just bored. Then the corner of his lips curled into something cold, almost cruel. Are you for real? Your heart stuttered. Jungkook stepped closer, voice loud enough for everyone to hear. You actually thought someone like me would accept a poor average girl like you? His friends snickered behind him. The crowd murmured in disbelief. Your fingers tightened around the mic, knuckles turning white. I didn't mean, I just. Chungo cut you off, his voice sharp like glass. Don't embarrass yourself and stop staring at me. Every day in class, it's pathetic. Laughter, someone said she's delusional. Another whispered, did she really think he would like her? Your stomach twisted painfully, then Heaven stepped forward, the same girl who encouraged you, and with a sugary smile, she linked her arm through Chunguk's like she had been waiting all night. Aw, Wine, you really thought you had a chance? She smirked a cruel, victorious smirk and rested her head against Jungkook's shoulder. And then the flash. Phones recording your widened eyes, your shaking lips. The way your heart visibly broke, Jungkook leaned in, voice low but perfectly caught on the microphone's around. Next time, know your place. Your throat tightened, your eyes burned, but you refused to cry in front of them. You handed the mic to the nearest person, bowed your head slightly out of pure instinct, and walked away blindly, pushing through the crowd, trying to breathe, trying not to collapse. Behind you, someone shouted, look at her run. Oh my god, the video is already trending. Campus, the Lulu girl. Bro, she proposed the king of campus. What was she thinking? Your humiliation, your heartbreak, your trembling retreat. Everything was recorded, everything was posted, and by midnight, the entire university was calling you one thing, that delusional girl. The moment you reached home, the silence felt heavy and the crowd's laughter. You shut the door behind you and leaned your forehead against it. For a second, you didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't think. Then your knees buckle, you slide down onto the cold floor, hands covering your face as your chest heaved. The tears came quietly at first, then painfully, uncontrollably. Why did I do that? Why did I listen to her? A sob escaped her lips. Why did I think someone like him would ever look at me? Your voice cracked, echoing in the small room you shared with your younger sister when she visited on weekends. The single lamp flickered faintly, casting shadows on your shaking figure. I made a fool of myself in front of everyone in front of him. You pressed your palm against your mask to stifle another cry, but it didn't help. Everything hurt your chest. Your pride, your hope. The memory of Jungkook's smirk replayed sharply behind your ears. His words tapped again. Someone like me would never accept someone like you. Stop staring at me every day, it's pathetic. You curled your fingers into your shirt, gripping the fabric as if holding your heart together. I was so stupid for the first time in a long time. You cried yourself to sleep. The next day, every hallway felt heavier. Students whispered, phones pointed, snickers followed you. Isn't that her, delusional girl? She actually thought the campus king would like her. You kept your head down, hugging your books to your chest. Suddenly, your best friend Mira pushed up to you, breathless. Wine, you need to come right now. It's heaven. She's proposing to Jungkook in the cafeteria. Your heart clenched violently. What? But she told me. Mira grabbed your hand tightly. I know she lied, just come. You didn't want to, you shouldn't have, but your feet moved anyway. You ran when you reached the cafeteria. The world seemed to freeze. There she was, Heaven standing in the center holding a bouquet. The crowd surrounded her again, phones out, recording. Jungkook sat casually at the table, boredom painted on his face, his legs stretched out like a king receiving worship. Heaven smiled sweetly. Jungkook, I really like you. Will you go out with me? Your breath hissed before you could turn away. A stray tear slipped down your cheek. It hit the floor. Jungkook's gaze flickered up, and he saw you standing near the doorway. He saw the tear. He saw the pain on your face. He didn't flinch. Instead, he leaned back and smirked. Yeah, I accept. Gasp erupted. Cheers followed. Heaven immediately wrapped her arms around him. Jungkook didn't hug her back, but he kept looking at you as she smiled victoriously. Your heart cracked again. You turned around and left, almost stumbling as you rushed into the nearest washroom. You gripped the sink, cold water splashing onto your burning face. You stared at your reflection, puffy eyes, trembling lips. I won't cry, not again, I won't. But your voice trembled, your hands shook. He already hates me, I won't let him see me break again. You inhale shakily, exhale, and force your eyes dry. You wish the day would end quietly, it didn't. During class, the professor walked in with a stern face. We have a university exhibition coming up. I'm assigning team leaders. Jungkook, you will lead the main committee. Students clapped half-heartedly. Professor Kim continued. And you, Wine, will be assisting him directly. Your heart stopped. Jungkook's head snapped toward you, disgust visible in his eyes. His friend snickered. Heaven's smile widened with venomous sweetness. Oh, working closely with Jungkook, how exciting. Jungkook scoffed loudly. You are kidding, right? I don't want. Professor Kim shot him a look. It's final. Jungkook leaned back, jaw tight. Then he laughed under his breath, not kindly, mockingly. Great, now she will follow me around officially. The class giggled, your face burned later when everyone poured out of the classroom, Jungkook walked past you, leaning close enough for only you to hear. Don't get any ideas just because you're assigned to me doesn't mean you're anywhere near my standards. He walked away but came back a step ice cold and stop looking at me like that. Don't obsess over me, it's embarrassing. His friends laughed loudly. Heaven linked her arm into his, again, smiling a fake angelic smile. Poor girl, she just can't move on, can she? You stood there frozen. You were not crying, not anymore. Something in you was starting to harden instead. The hallway was unusually quiet that afternoon. Students had already gone to lunch, leaving the corridor almost empty. You stepped out of the classroom, exhausted from the endless whispers, the glances, the assignment that forced you to work under Choco. You hugged your books to your chest and kept walking, your necklace, the old silver pendant with a tiny engraved moon swinging gently with your steps. You didn't notice Jungkook standing near the lockers. You didn't notice the way his gaze locked onto that pendant, frozen, confused, startled. He pushed off the wall and took a step forward. Wait, you stopped, your shoulders stiffening. You didn't want another insult, another humiliation, another cold stare. But Chunguk wasn't glaring, he was staring at your necklace as if it was something impossible. He reached out before thinking and gently touched the small pendant resting just above your collarbone. It's you, his voice trembled, the first crack you had ever heard from him. You took a small step back, eyes narrowing. Now, what's the purpose of this, Jungkook? He looked up at you, searching your face for something. Something he should have remembered long ago. You didn't give him time. You already accepted heaven's proposal. Don't act confused now. You smiled bitterly, not warmly, a smile born from pain. I'm poor, right? Not your standard. So why are you touching my things? Jungkook swallowed hard. His eyes didn't have the usual arrogance, they had hesitation. I accepted her because he struggled for words, a rare side. Because I wanted to make you jealous. Your heart stilled, he looked away, jaw tight. I thought it would get rid of you, thought you would stop liking me. Your fingers clenched around your books. It hurt, but you didn't let it show. Okay, no problem. Your voice was steady, emotionless. Now you did, and you walked past him, leaving him frozen in the hallway, staring at your fading figure and at the pendant he couldn't forget anymore. That night, Jungkook didn't go out with friends, didn't answer Heaven's messages, didn't touch his dinner. He sat on his bed, elbows on his knees, staring at the floor and replaying your words over and over. I'm poor, right? What's the purpose of this now? You already accepted her. His chest felt tight, annoyingly tight. Why didn't I recognize her earlier? His mind drifted back 2 years ago. Flashback, the village road. He was 10, a small boy with messy hair, a ripped shoe, and a scraped knee. His father had brought him to the village for a business trip. When Jungkook wandered too far, he tripped and fell on the rocky road. His knee bled and he tried hard not to cry. He sat there alone until a small girl, maybe 9, ran toward him. She knelt beside him, eyes full of worry. You are hurt, don't cry. Jungkook sniffed. I'm not crying. She giggled softly and opened her small pouch. From inside, she took out a silver pendant, the same moon you wear now. This is my lucky charm. Hold it, you will feel better. He placed it in his tiny hand and gently blew on his wound to ease the sting. Then she tied a small cloth around his knee. See, it's okay now. Jungkook stared at her, the first person to ever help him without expecting anything. Thank you. It was rare for him to say. She smiled brightly. Keep the moon pendant safe until you feel strong again, okay? He did for days. Until his father threw it away, calling it trash. But Jungkook never forgot the warmth, the kindness, the girl with the moon pendant, or so he thought. Jungkook's eyes snapped open. It was her. His chest tightened again, but this time it wasn't annoyance, it was something else. Regret, realization. Guilt so heavy it scared him. Jungkook rubbed his hand over his face. What have I done? Because the same girl who once helped him when he was broken was the same girl he had humiliated in front of hundreds. And worse, he might have already lost her forever. Ever since Jungkook discovered your connection, the pendant, the childhood memory, the truth he couldn't stop noticing you everywhere. In the library, he would catch glimpses of you sitting at your usual corner table, hair falling over your face, eyes locked on the pages of your book. Fingers moving quickly as you took notes in the hallway, he would see you passing by, focused, composed, deliberately ignoring his presence, leaving him to wonder if you were even aware he existed. During the exhibition meetings, he watched you command attention without even trying, clipboard in hand, giving instructions, organizing tasks with such efficiency and comprehension that no one dared interrupt you. And through it all, you never once looked at him. No nervous glance, no hesitant smile, no sign of recognition, just unwavering focus. You didn't hate him, you were simply done. And that realization hit him harder than any of your previous rejections ever could. The auditorium was buzzing with preparation for the event. Lights were being installed, wires sprawled across the floor. You were on the stage, adjusting the angle of the lights, making sure everything was perfectly put in one hand, tape and markers in the other. Your movements were precise, deliberate, composed, and completely devoid of any emotion directed at him. Jungkook stood near the top of the stairs, hands stuffed awkwardly in his pockets, jaw tight, watching you as if trying to summon the courage to speak, to apologize, to undo what had already been done. But every step he took forward felt heavier, like gravity itself was pressing down on him, weighing him down with anticipation and fear of rejection. Finally, he stepped closer. Hey, Wine, you didn't even glance up. Pass me that tape. Your voice was calm, almost monotone, stripped of all warmth and familiarity. It wasn't harsh, it wasn't mean, but it was worse, indifferent, blinking. Jungkook picked up the tape and extended it toward you. When your fingers pressed against his, you pulled away immediately, as if contact with him had suddenly become unbearable. You climbed down the ladder, brushing off dust from your hands, maintaining that same composed focus, leaving him standing there helpless. Joe cleared his throat, trying to regain control of the moment, trying to find the right words. About everything, I didn't mean to. I mean, he rubbed the back of his neck, the nervous gesture betraying his discomfort, his internal struggle, the emotions he wasn't used to feeling. Whatever, just forget it. You stared at him for only a fraction of a second, giving him a glimmer of hope, but not enough to stop yourself from walking past him. You didn't react, you didn't look hurt, you didn't even Allow him to see the slightest flicker of emotion. You moved on, calm, controlled, and bothered. And for the first time, Jungkook felt a sting in his chest, sharp and unfamiliar, a pain he had never expected from someone he thought he had controlled. What the hell? Why won't she say anything? It was the silence, the composed disregard, the refusal to give him even the smallest reaction. It was unbearable. For the first time, he realized that words alone couldn't fix the damage he had caused. Before he could gather himself or attempt another approach, having strutted into the auditorium. Her heels clicked against the floor like she owned the entire room, her presence instantly demanding attention. Jungkook, there you are. I have been looking everywhere for you. Her eyes flicked toward you with deliberate sweetness, that fake, angelic smile that made her every movement a calculated performance. Wine, still busy, poor thing. You didn't respond, you didn't even glance at her. Your silence was deliberate control, a statement in itself. Haven't pretended to pout, then with a flourish lifted her phone. Jungkook, look, I recorded something yesterday. Cute, right? You had no intention of listening, but the moment her phone played, the audio, your name pirates the room. And then came his voice, cool, cruel, precise. Don't embarrass yourself and stop staring at me every day in class. It's pathetic. You actually thought someone like me would accept someone like you. Your stomach twisted violently and your throat constricted. Every cruel word he had used to humiliate you during your confession replayed in perfect clarity. You froze, not with shock, but with the deep, hollow ache of betrayal and humiliation. Jungkook's eyes widened in panic. Haven't turned that off. Haven't smirked, only grew. Why? It's not like she hasn't heard it before. Besides, you said it proudly in front of everyone. Or are you ashamed now? You lifted your head slowly, taking a deep breath, telling yourself there would be no tears this time, no pleading, no weakness. Don't worry, I'm not surprised. You have made it very clear who I am to you. You stepped back, creating distance between yourself and them, both speaking with calm finality. I don't want explanations, I don't need them. You turned and walked toward the exit. Chunguk took a step after you, desperation evident in his movement. Why wait? You didn't stop, you didn't even glance back. The door closed behind you with a soft thud, the quietest sound in the world, yet it resonated as the loudest heartbreak he had ever felt. Heaven smirked at him. See, problem solved. But Jungkook didn't look at her. His eyes were fixed on the door through which you had disappeared, his chest tightening, a sinking weight pressing down on him. He turned to her slowly, jaw clenched, voice slow, dangerous. You did that on purpose. Haven lifted her chin confidently. Of course you needed to stop obsessing over you. Jungkook's gaze darkened, his jaw tightened. She wasn't obsessing. Haven blinked, momentarily thrown. Jungkook exhaled deeply, the first honest, unguarded breath he had taken in days. And I didn't want her to walk away like that. Heaven's smugness faltered, but Jungkook didn't see her at all. He only saw the empty hallway, the door, and the absence of someone who had once been the center of this world. Fear and regret flooded him, unrelenting and suffocating, not frustration, not annoyance. Fear, pure, raw, terrifying fear. Fear that he had pushed too far. Fear that he had lost the only person who ever saw him as more than the arrogant, untouchable king of the campus. He ran a hand through his hair, whispering under his breath a voice no one had ever heard from him before. What am I doing? For the first time in his life, the cold, untouchable campus Heartthrob felt something he could not control, could not understand, and could not fix regret, pain, and something else he wasn't ready to admit, not even to himself. All he knew was this, he was losing you, and it was entirely his fault. The campus was quiet that evening. The last rays of the sun streamed through the library windows, casting long shadows across empty halls. You sat at your usual corner, books spread in front of you, but your mind was elsewhere, haunted by what had happened, by the echo of his cruel words, by the sting of rejection. You had moved on, or at least tried to. Jungkook watched from across the library, hidden behind a pillar. His usual confidence was gone, replaced by something raw and unfamiliar. He saw the way your hair fell over your shoulders, the calm composure in your posture, the strength in your gaze, and he realized he had lost you, perhaps forever. For the first time, he understood that money, pride, and reputation mean nothing compared to what he had thrown away. He clenched his fist, swallowing hard, knowing he had caused this, his actions, his arrogance, his cruelty. You didn't notice him, you were finally untouchable, finally free. And that realization was the hardest thing for him to accept. Some mistakes he thought are too heavy to fix. Some hurts too proud don't look back, and as he walked away, the echo of your absence followed him louder than any words he could ever say.